welcoming everybody. Good morning to Spirit of Life Alchemy. Today is Wednesday, the 22nd of June 2022, and this is your morning message tarot reading. So I hope you all had a wonderful summer solstice yesterday. I know I did. Yeah, the energies are looking good for the next 3 months. Okay, so we've got some astrology today. So the moon's going to spend all day in Aries, and it's going to conjunct Chiron and Mars. So I see this is as we heal the layers, as the moon goes round the zodiac wheel and makes the different aspects to these particular planets, it's like we have an opportunity to heal these layers in our everyday life. And it's like as we heal these layers, we become more embodied, we come back to ourselves, we become more filled with energy and more ready to take action. And it's like sort of a gradual process, day on day, as the moon aspects these planets. So yeah, just think of it as just peeling away the layers. Little bit by little bit, the new things get exposed for us to do the work on. And as we do, and as we heal, then we come back to ourselves more and more. So that being said, let's get on and do with some cards and see what the cards have to say for today. So we're going to start off with the Wisdom of the Oracle, and then we're going to use the Marielle deck. So what do we need to know for today, the 22nd of June 2022, a Wednesday? Messages from Spirit, please, for the collective. What help, advice, support and guidance can Spirit give the collective to help us navigate today's energies for our highest and greatest good? What do we need to know for Wednesday, the 22nd of June 2022? What do we need? What do we need to know? Okay, let's see. Messages from Spirit, please, for the collective. Okay, so at the bottom, between worlds. Okay, we're shedding that old life. Not for you. And a never-ending story. Okay, I'm seeing this as going back to what I was saying before about peeling away the layers. Okay, and I think this whole year we're in this period of peeling away lots of layers and doing lots of healing, and sort of as we go through this, it feels like we are between worlds. There's the old self that is still there and slowly being dismantled, and there is the new, larger, improved self that we're moving into. But it can be hard work, and sometimes it can feel quite difficult to do. Usually when Not For You comes up, it's about an opportunity that isn't the right opportunity for you, and to just let it go, because better opportunities will come along. There's a phrase which I can't think off the top of my head, about rejection, is the universe's way of turning us around for something better. but I can't remember the phrase of it off the top of my head at the moment, so hey ho. And then never ending story. Sometimes it does feel like we're just going on and on and on, and we often can't see how much we've actually changed and evolved and things. It's only sort of at some point in the future when we can look back with hindsight that we can see the big turning points, and we can see, oh yeah, look at how far I've come, look at what happened. Glad I didn't take that opportunity, because look at what else came up, because that wasn't working out. So yeah, and it's just, I think so the message from all of this is just keep on keeping on. With yesterday's summer solstice reading, looking at the 3-month sort of energies, and sort of what we're changing from, and where we're going. I'm particularly thinking of the mice, the caution, the heedful mouse becoming the fool, the eternal vagabond, and just see going for this mouse that's quite sort of scared and into this, ready to leap off into the abyss of a new journey. So sort of, and that doesn't happen overnight. That happens in incremental stages over a period of time, over 3 months. So yeah, that's the message I'm getting from the oracle cards this morning. Okay, let's have a look at what the tarot has to say for today. So what do we need to know for Wednesday the 22nd of June 2022? Messages from Spirit, please, for the collective. What help, advice, support and guidance can Spirit give the collective to help us navigate today's energies for our highest and greatest good? Yeah, I've spoken about this quite a lot in the last couple of weeks, about sort of often being between the 3D and the 5D, and sometimes we find ourselves going forward and everything's great, and then we can often find ourselves slipping back and feeling overwhelmed by the day, or events in the day. And again, it's such a gradual journey. It is really just keep on keeping on, taking time out for yourself when you need to, and having trust and faith that you'll get to where you need to be. Okay, so let's see what the cards have to say. What have we got? We have the Fool, new journey. We have the 9 of Discs. We have the 5 of Discs. We have the Magician. We have the 3 of Swords. We have the 5 of Swords. The Hermit. The Knight of Wands. And then at the bottom we have the 8 of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, Judgement, the 2 of Swords, the Chariot, okay. Going to leave those there for a moment, go into this story and then come back to that if I need to at the end, because there's a lot of cards in this underneath story. Okay, so where we find ourselves, starting a new journey, a new beginning, the Fool. the energies have turned, whether you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere. We've had the peak out at the peak of the sun and the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, or in the southern hemisphere, the peak of the winter, the longest night and the longest day energies. And the energies are changing, although sort of it takes a few days before we can actually start seeing movement again. We've reached a pinnacle and the energies are changing. It starts a new cycle. The Nine of Wands, independence, self-confidence, knowing ourselves better. In this 6-month journey in the northern hemisphere, from winter solstice to summer solstice, the energies have been growing. Hopefully our self-confidence has been growing. We've been understanding ourselves more. We've been doing this healing, which is now culminating today, and that's culminating. The next stage of it is the moon conjuncting Chiron and Mars in Aries, that we can look back and see how much we've changed and grown. And likewise in the summer hemisphere, but the energies might have been different because you've been going from summer solstice down to winter solstice. So those energies are more about the harvest, the results. I often find sort of, especially from August, September, October, and what I call my results months, and my starting the rewards for all the work I've done for the other 9 months of the year. So your energies might be very different and more about the harvest and the rewards and everything, and then going into yourself, and a very inward journey back to the centre of the self at winter solstice. And so your energies are now turning and ready to start looking outwards again. So yes, these opposite energies, and in both halves of the year you learn about yourself and the journey. Although different energies, it's always a journey of self-discovery, I think. And below the foundation, we've got the Five of Discs here. And I love this Five of Discs card because he's looking inwards at his heart. Okay, and it just reminds me that all abundance, all wealth, all connection, everything is actually a journey inwards. I know we often look for abundance and wealth and things like that outwards, but ultimately we need to turn inwards when we find it in our hearts inside. Okay. And then the support from above, from spirit, we've got the Magician reminding us that we can co-create with spirit and we can manifest whatever it is we want. As we know, we often see the Magician channeling from heaven, from spirit, down to earth, down into from 5D to 3D. I think today Spirit is just reminding us of that even when sort of outside it doesn't look like anything's working or anything's moving, that the reminder to come back inside, that when we connect in with our hearts, then sort of it connects us to our manifestation. We can co-create without sort of God and Gaia and the divine feminine and divine masculine. We can do nothing. It's only when we're in collaboration and co-creation with those energies that we can create. And I think sort of that's the main message of today's reading. And then we have the Three of Swords. And I think this is just putting what the astrology is doing today is putting the spotlight on healing another layer of that hurt, the Chiron and the Mars energies. As we heal these layers, we get stronger, we get more connected. We remember that we're not isolated and alone, that we're completely connected into this universe, and work and co-create with it. The clarifiers up here, we have the Five of Swords, and in this card I normally see this as sort of, for me it's about sort of be aware that you can self-sabotage when we're going through healing and everything. We connect, we become, as we peel away these layers, we become vulnerable as a newborn baby. And I'm seeing this as a message to be gentle with ourselves, to be loving with ourselves, to be wise. Look at all the owls around her, which means don't go self-sabotaging or berating yourself or being critical. But yes, just coming back to the heart and connecting in with your heart and treating yourself as you would a newborn baby. And again, the Hermit, more messages to go inside and connect to your wisdom. That seems to be a predominant message here from the Five of Discs here. Going inside, connecting with the heart, treating yourself as gently as a newborn baby. And of course the Hermit, who is the archetype of going inside and connecting to that wisdom. And as we do, so I'm seeing that as the Chiron energy. And then we have the Knight of Wands, which is about connecting to that Mars energy. And sometimes we do have to go into the dark places to find that fire. Okay, sometimes that fire in us can be so great that we've had to hide it in the past. And I think now this message today is about connecting into it, going into the dark places and reigniting it. If you look at the paw there, we've got the lightning, that strike of lightning, of inspiration and everything. It's always been within us, but often we've buried it under layers and layers of family stuff, inherited stuff, lifetime stuff, society, as children, everything. We've buried it deep. And this, I think today's message is about going inside and connecting to that spark to bring it out. The cards at the bottom, which is the general environment or subconscious environment of the reading, we've got the Eight of Swords here. We've got a gate, and beyond the gate we see this amazing tower and everything, and it looks like a really nice scene. There's flowers or roses, there's a lake or a river or something. It looks really quite abundant. And at first glance, you think, oh, I'm locked out of that. But if you study the card, we can see that there's no locks on the gate. It's not locked. All we have to do is push that open and we can go through into the abundant landscape, into our abundant landscape. So it's about sort of looking at, what keeps us small, what shadows are there that are needing to heal and to push the gate open. And as we do, we come to the Wheel of Fortune. We change things. Things move on, a bit of karmic readjustment and things like that. Then we have Judgment. And on this, we've got a beautiful phoenix on this. And it is, as we do this and unpeel this and connecting with ourselves, we do start rising like the phoenix. And we have the Two of Swords here. This is a beautiful dragonfly. Okay, it's about uncovering our wings, our magic. And as we push through that gate, as we connect in with the magician and things, we connect into our magic. And as we connect into it, it opens our vision so that we can see, which takes us to the chariot, using our will to find our direction to go on. As we unpeel these layers and connect back into our spirit and our fire and things like that, and we can see where we're going. One of the interesting things about this chariot, apart from the lovely wolves and everything, is look at the pink whatever it is at her chest. It's about going forward, heart-centered consciousness. It's a big theme. This is about being self-directed, coming from our hearts and going out into the world. I'm just going to quickly go through these other cards that are out. The Three of Cups, we come from Source, we have our lives and we go back to Source. Although we have different journeys, we're still all connected. And that's a cause for celebration. The Moon, there can be illusions and fears and things on this journey. And this is a call to connect to the Moon and the lunar journey, especially as we're here with the High Priestess, that connect into your higher self. Also, I'm seeing this as the Divine Feminine as well. The lunar energies, the ebbs and flows, this between worlds, backwards and forwards. If you're not used to the ebbs and flows of how things go, then it can be fearful. You can think you're never going to come out the other end. But I think these are messages to say connect to your higher self, connect to the lunar energies on the journey. And then we have the Emperor, forming a firm foundation, a self-mastery, as we connect ourselves back in, as we release all the old stories and things and enter into our heart relationship of our abundant inner world. Then sort of we have self-mastery, and then we can go forwards in more trust and things. Okay, the King of Discs, again quite not quite similar to the Emperor, but 1/4 of the Emperor, the 3D world. We may be with the Hanged Man here and Temperance, we might be being asked to balance and look at things from a different perspective, a heart-centered perspective, that inner connection, rather than sort of the external abundance or lack or whatever. Connecting back into the heart is the key to moving forward. It brings us into balance. And then the Queen of Wands, we find ourselves in our power. Okay. So yeah, that was quite a subconscious journey there going on. But I always find the subconscious stuff, and the cards at the bottom deck, I always love the story they tell with the reading. And this is actually from sort of what we had here. That don't give up, it's all here. Sorry, it's all here. We can do this. And it's just remembering and connecting into the heart is the big thing. So, and patience, the 7 of Discs. Just things just evolve at their own time, which is outside of human time. Divine timing just trust it's all happening as it should do. Okay, so that's today's reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it resonated for you. If it did, then please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. Click on the wiggly bell for notifications when I'm doing readings. If you'd like a personal reading from me, then email me at the email address below this video in the descriptions box. Have a wonderful day. Be gentle with yourselves, and until tomorrow, thank you for watching.